Ask RG.
Dios.
It is time already again to answer some of the very good questions you've sent us. We love answering them.
We do.
So for those of you who don't know, we are RG. She's R and I'm G. So ask RG. If you haven't yet liked or subscribed, so you are able to send in your questions, in the future. Do so. You're right, Ashley?
Yeah, I'm all right. And we apologize for the wait because I think it's been 2 weeks, but we've been so busy with Copa America and Euro Cup and our country's competing. And
well, yours is. Mine is not anymore.
Still competing. So yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get to it with the questions.
Here we go. CR7 rules.
CR7 rules. What's up, man?
If Cristiano left us, would you worry? This is like almost funny. Would you worry about next season for Real Madrid?
If Cristiano left us, which is gonna eventually happen at some point, maybe this summer, maybe next summer, at some point it's gonna happen, I wouldn't worry, and I think it would be a nice, I mean, what Cristiano has given us is, impossible to put in words. But I think it would be interesting for Real Madrid to kind of like develop a different team structure, not around Cristiano,
right.
And we shouldn't go crazy about like, who's going to replace Cristiano?
Right.
Nobody will ever replace Cristiano, and I don't think we should think like that as a team. We should just, come up with a new structure around different players, maybe more than one this time, for more than 7 years. And yeah, profit from that, benefit from having other players, other stars, other styles of scoring goals.
Life after Cristiano. I think it'll be okay. I think Real Madrid will move on as all clubs usually do when their star players retire. I think the club will be fine. They'll find a new player that maybe will never be such a prolific goal scorer as Cristiano Ronaldo, but maybe that might be better. You don't need to, like you said, build your team structure around one player. Who knows? Or maybe we'll find the next Cristiano Ronaldo and Real Madrid will sign him and...
Who knows? To answer your question, I wouldn't worry. I'd be a little sad to see Cristiano go, but I mean, I'm already mentalized for that to happen. So yeah, I wouldn't worry.
It's coming to an end. Okay,
and you shouldn't worry either, man.
Don't worry.
There's life after Cristiano, as Ashley said.
Happy. Okay. Coming from Tyler Simon, who I think we chose this question last 2 weeks ago. Is there a specific player Real Madrid can purchase when Pepe retires who can be amazing next to Ramos, and why? And I think that we don't need to buy a player because we have one.
Varane? Develop.
I personally think, this season was not a great season for Varane, I will admit that, but I really do think Varane is a young, he's going to be a great talent. If Zidane can bring this out of him, and which I'm hoping for next season, I don't think we need to go and buy another center back. I think Varane is a great talent. He can play well with Ramos. We've seen him play well in the past. He's very, I think we forget how young Varane really is. He's 22 or 23.
23, right? Yeah, 22, 23.
22, 23. I mean, this is a player that we can get longevity out of him. I don't necessarily know that we need to go and stick someone else there with Ramos. I think.
Yeah, and then maybe, if he takes on that role, we can see Pepe in a more secondary role, and we can still get like 1 or 2 more years out of Pepe as a secondary, as a backup, center back.
He doesn't age, this guy, Pepe.
Yeah, but thanks for the question.
Perfect.
Well, we'll go for the next.
From Isa Kruk, Nike or Adidas?
Well, for what? For commercials, for sporting gear, I don't know.
For everything.
I think for commercials, Nike. I've liked, how they kind of like broke through with those Joga Bonito some like 10 or 15 years ago. They've been kind of like always groundbreaking with their style of television, how they present their gear on TV or on screen.
Okay.
But for gear, actually, I've always been a bigger fan of Adidas.
Really?
Yeah.
You're one of those people that wear...
For shoes.
You've always worn Copa Mundials as your...
like in my experience, when I've had Nikes or Adidas, especially in shoes, like Adidas have lasted a lot longer. And I have this idea, this feeling, for me, in my experience, that it's better gear.
Huh?
I don't know.
I've always been a Nike girl. I've hardly ever wear Adidas. I've always worn the Nike boots.
She's still waiting for that Nike call, Nike football?
I'm still waiting for that Nike call. I don't work for Nike yet. No, but I've always liked, like you said, the Nike advertisements, the Joga Bonito, which was amazing for me as a kid growing up. I used to watch those and rewatch those with my brother, and we would go outside and try and do those different moves. I was convinced that I needed to have the mercurial vapors that Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo wore. I always have loved the Nike kits. I love the Brazilian kit from whatever World Cup that was, 2000 and whatever. That was a long time ago. And I just have always liked Nike. I don't know. It's a thing.
So Nike and Adidas. What about you, man? Nike, Adidas,
Reebok,
Puma, Fila,
Homa.
Homa. Yeah.
The other day I saw
Polmer.
I saw umbro the other day, which
There
that
you go.
used to be one of my kit was when I was a kid. Umbro. And kelme,
There you go.
Okay, taking
Lots
it
of
back.
options. Nike or Adidas?
because the rest don't count. Okay, Rahatu Ashakin, predict the Euro 2016 final.
I'm gonna say
Ooh, we're gonna say.
I would love to see Spain against England in the final.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I think Spain is gonna make it to the final, unless there's an upset, you know, maybe against Germany or Italy in the quarterfinals or semifinals. I think they'll be in the final. The other team, I'm not so sure. I thought Germany. I don't know. I'm gonna say England against Spain.
Okay.
And I have a special bet with our friend Roberto at the bar. If you're in Madrid, El Centinela de Quevedo, go there. And I made a bet with Roberto. I said, if Spain wins the Euro, I will go there and eat once and pay for 3 meals. But if England wins the Euro, I'll eat there for free for 3 days.
Oh wow.
So that would be an exciting final for
for
me.
3 full days,
Yeah.
lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I should
No,
go.
no lunch and dinner.
I
Just
should
one
go
meal
there
a
and
day.
make that bet with,
Yeah.
with Roberto
You
as well.
get in the bed. Get in the bed. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with as well as Spain, with like you, Spain, and I really don't know. It could be Germany or France.
So Germany or France?
Germany or France.
Germany or France?
Germany or France. Both.
So Spain is going to play the final against Germany or France.
Whoever. Okay.
A combined 11 from Germany and France.
Oh God, that team would win. Okay. From Ahmad Nathani, who do you think deserves the 3rd Ballon d'Or nomination, assuming that Ronaldo and God, flies are everywhere. Ronaldo and Messi are the first 2 nominated.
We have this problem with the flies here. The
Everywhere.
talent is not happy. But anyway,
complaining to your
we put in this question because I want to say after what we've been seeing, this Euros, definitely, you know, maybe we can agree or not that it's going to be Cristiano, Messi, and somebody else. You know, maybe in some seasons, maybe even this season, it wouldn't be that fair.
Probably.
You know, but I think the third one should be Iniesta.
Iniesta.
You know, like we're seeing, he's demonstrating again that, you know, it's kind of weird that he doesn't already have a Ballon d'Or.
Right.
And, you know, right now, if it's Messi and Cristiano, like, you know, the best player in the world that is not Messi and
Right.
Cristiano is Iniesta.
And
I don't have doubts about that.
I agree with you, and I think that just because you score so many goals doesn't mean that you're an amazing. I mean, it means you're a great goal scorer, but doesn't mean that you're a full player. And I think from Iniesta, we've seen even at how old is he now? 31 or
32.
32. That he's still the best in the world at what he does. I'm a huge Iniesta fan, but he's incredible.
And somehow
He's unreal.
he looks in a shape that he's even better or stronger physically than he was 2 or 3 years ago, and that kind of blows your mind.
Perhaps he's
because the
just
talent is
smarter.
there, but I don't know. I think definitely if it's gonna be Messi and Cristiano, the third one should be Iniesta.
Right,
And if they win the Euro Cup with the exhibition that he's giving,
Oh.
maybe that he wins it wouldn't be that far fetched.
no, and I think he deserves it. I mean, the fact that he's never won it in all of these years, and with his partnership with Xavi in Barcelona, it's hard to believe, actually.
So I'm just saying Iniesta. Yeah,
Iniesta.
that's the answer. Who would you put with Messi and Cristiano?
Maybe they'll say Suarez. I don't know. Maybe they'll say Jamie.
Maybe
Vardy.
Modric.
Maybe Modric. I love.
Maybe Modric. Let's see what Croatia ends up doing in this Euro Cup. But
Okay, cool. From Michael Caetano, which football player would you like to sit down and have lunch with?
that's a good question because it could have been lunch, it could have been dinner, it could have been drinks.
True.
But you
It's
went for
lunch.
lunch, which makes it a bit more formal. Kind of like a lunch in a nice setup. So I don't know.
No,
I probably I don't know, man. That's a good question. I would
Pele. No, that was before your time.
Well, I mean,
Ronaldo.
if we can talk about a lot of other players, I
You
would
can
sit
talk
down with
about anybody.
Maradona.
Ah.
Although I wouldn't sit
Yeah,
down with
you're
Maradona
crazy.
for lunch. Maybe I'll go with Maradona for drinks.
drinks.
But
And who
I don't know.
knows what time you'd get home.
Like I don't know. That's a good question. But yeah, I definitely sit down with Ronaldo Nazario,
Okay.
and just look at him eat. I think that'd be nice, funny. I'm sure he looks like he enjoys eating like me. So it would be a nice lunch.
Okay. Cool.
Both little fatties seeing each other eat. That'd be funny. Who would you sit down with?
With one of my favorite players of all time. Jesus. Ronaldinho.
Ooh, but for lunch?
For lunch, and then we could play a little bit of sala afterwards. You could show me.
I'm sure
some-
Ronaldinho would turn lunch into like a 4 a.m. party.
Okay, well.
So you never know. It would be
I
a
like
long
to
lunch,
dance.
maybe. Yeah.
Ronaldinho. Okay.
Ay, Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho, he's one of my favorites. Okay, from Xanon the Dreamer. What is your favorite Real Madrid kit, and what are your thoughts on the 2016-2017 kit? But this hasn't come out yet, officially come out yet.
Yeah, it's not official, so I don't know if that's really. It's probably a very trustworthy leak. So that's probably going to be the kit. I kind of like it, but my favorite ever was back in 2005 and 6. There was the second one that was a black when it said Siemens.
Ah, that was
And
nice.
I love that one. Here's a picture of it if you don't remember. And that was my favorite. I actually had that one. My friends gave it to me for my birthday as a gift. That was, made me really happy. And it was stolen from me in the metro.
No. My favorite. I really actually liked 2015-2016's third kit, which was the one that they won Champions. Is that the one? The dark blue with that sort
dark
of light
blue. Yeah,
I think that's a cool one. And I think their gray kit was really cool too. I think every year it's like if you go back too far, you just don't really like the style.
True.
So I don't know. I like this year's sort of modern. And then the 2016, I've only seen the home one, which has the collar, right?
Yeah.
That this is
Not a big fan of the collar.
supposedly, if this is what it is, has a collar, and I don't love that. So
Yeah. Next question.
next question. Last question from Martinez Duras.
Martinez Dugas.
Martinez Duras. Should Bale be on free kicks at Real Madrid? I think Bale should shoot from the right side and Cristiano from the left side, or just.
I think absolutely it's a good question, especially now with what we've been seeing in the Euro Cup. I think Cristiano has lost his edge. He scored some beautiful free kicks this year, maybe 2 or 3, but definitely his ratio of conversion ratio has gone down, and I think he takes too many in order to score one.
Right.
And in this Euro Cup, we've seen it with Portugal. He's already taken like 5 or 6, and none of them has even gone to goal.
Jenny generally hits the wall.
And Bale has taken 2 and put them in.
2.
And I think right now, with the snipers we have at Real Madrid, maybe it doesn't make sense anymore for Cristiano to keep, taking the set pieces. We have Bale, we have James, even Kroos or Modric. I think it's one of the things that Cristiano should do. Start allowing other players to, take on the starring roles. And it's like, man, Cristiano, it's not all about you. Like, you don't have to do everything, like take all the PKs and all the set pieces. Because we have players with talent waiting in line. And I think, like, after this Euro, probably I would go for Bale and James to take the set pieces.
No, I agree. I mean, we've seen great set pieces from James in the beginning of the season. That first goal that he scored against Betis was unbelievable. And then Bale, just these last 2 goals were great, and it was from 35 meters out is pretty far to strike a ball and put it in the goal. So I think that we see Bale, who's got a great leg, great finishing capabilities on set pieces, and Cristiano, obviously, if you're the only player that takes free kicks, you're going to eventually score goals. But his conversion rate, like you said, is pretty low, and I don't remember the numbers, but it's probably like 2%.
It is true, it's pretty low, so that's an answer. Yes, we would change Bale for Cristiano, taking the set pieces. What would you do? And well, those were the questions. We hope you enjoyed the answers. Keep the questions coming and ask RG. And we can talk more about the Euro, the Copa America. Now is the hot thing, the hot theme.
Hot topic.
And of course, Real Madrid, football, having lunch, anything you want.
And also, I think that we said we would tell them our real ages, but Vitaly already told his real age.
Yeah, I'm 32 and Ashley is
28.
28, so 32 and 28, tell us how old you are.
And tell us how old you are.
And give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mate.